Hello there. So the main advantage of an oscillating microneedling device is that it does the work for you. And you have the power to change the depth and the speed as you work around the face to reflect the thickness and the sensitivity of your skin. And this is the safest way to microneedle at home. So for example, there's a big difference between the skin thickness on your chin compared to your forehead. And the side of your eyes where your crow's feet are, this skin is a lot less sensitive than your eye bags. So therefore in this video, I'm going to share with you the ideal stroke technique, how to section the face and the depths and the speed to treat each section with the microneedling oscillating device. As unlike a dermaroller or a nano needle and stamp that has a fixed depth which can cause unnecessary damage to the thinner or more delicate areas, the main advantage we have with pen type devices is that you can adapt the depth and the speed during the treatment as you work around the face so that you can maximise the skin rejuvenation without any long-term damage or unforeseen damage. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to perfect your technique, I'll cover everything from the sections of the face, the needle depths and the speed settings. Now I choose to use a Derma pen and I encourage all my clients to use the Derma pen home device. But you can use any device that you have or you prefer. As long as it oscillates, these techniques will work for you. So stick with me as I'll guide you through everything you need to know from a professional therapist perspective regarding home microneedling techniques for firmer skin. So while I was doing the research for this video, I discovered there is quite a lot of information out there. So I want to help you understand more from a professional point of view, as I believe that you can treat your skin at home and achieve if not better results than you could if you went to a clinic, as there seems to be various ways to microneedling, from swirling to stamping, and what I believe to be the best way, which is stripes or strokes when wanting to stimulate collagen for firmer skin. Now I even had someone recently make a comment and tell me on one of my videos that I was doing it wrong. Cheeky. Anyway, this inspired me to do this video even more because I thought we need some clarity. Now first of all, I'm not sure where swirling came from. So even as a professional therapist, I've attended many training sessions over the years and with different companies and devices. And the swirling technique has never really been a thing for clinic. The problem is that this treatment is an unregulated treatment and it's very likely to stay that way even if the aesthetic industry does become regulated. So your skin will always be your responsibility. Therefore, with people like me, whether in a professional setting or here chuntering away on YouTube, all we can do is help you make the decisions about your skin health. There is no scientific evidence that suggests that swirling a microneedling device is good or bad for your skin. For me, I don't swirl, but if you believe that swirling is right for you, then swirl away. Anyway, stamping I understand more. If you've got a non-oscillating device, the safest way to puncture your skin with these devices is to stamp. So nano needling stamps, yeah, that makes complete sense. Same for microneedling with radio frequency. This seems to be getting a bad rap at the moment and I don't believe it's well deserved. I think the treatment is brilliant. But anyway, now this technique has to be a single stamp because the handpiece doesn't oscillate, all right? But now we've got these microneedling at home devices that do oscillate, which means we can do the most effective way, I believe, to stimulate that collagen in the skin, which is this striping or striping, or strokes. Now, I'm also a bit funny about going backwards and forwards, even with a pen device, and not lifting in between your strokes. Now, I think this technique has come from the rollers, and I know that I'm splitting hairs, but I don't like that scrubbing technique either. Anyway, so my best advice is to do clusters of single directional strokes on each or every section of your skin, and I like to call these passes. So for example, 5 to 6 strokes in a vertical direction, slightly overlapping, and then the same 5 to 6 strokes in a horizontal direction on the same section of the skin, and then complete it with a third cluster of 5 to 6 strokes in a diagonal direction. Remembering that you can adapt the speed to complete these passes, as I want you to be steady but not too slow, as moving too slowly over the area can increase unnecessary trauma in the skin. And as a result, you're more likely to get the bleed, which is unnecessary. Now, as you can see here, Steve is taking it very slowly at 0.5 mil. And look, he gets that pinpoint bleed. So always use a light, consistent pressure. The microneedling device should glide smoothly over your skin without any heavy force. Now you can see here when I do my 3 passes, I'm a little bit faster, and therefore my skin doesn't bleed. Now the passes don't have to be in the same order. What matters most really is that you get a uniformed coverage in that section. So again, when watching other people do microneedling videos, they all seem to start with the forehead, and I have no idea why. For one, it's the thinnest and for me the most painful section to treat. In clinic, I always started on the jawline as it's the thickest part of the face, and when wanting to stimulate collagen, the best approach is to start at the deepest and work your way up through the layers of the skin, as you can overlap, especially if you want to address other skin concerns as well as skin tightening. In the next point, I'm going to discuss the depths and the speed of each area, but first I want to demonstrate how important it is to work in the smaller sections of the face in like a methodical order, such as jawline, so I like this bit, then you do your sort of chin, then your lips, then move up to your cheeks, sort of round to your forehead, your eyes, and then down your nose. Okay, when you start with the thicker areas like the jawline, you're going to be using the deepest depth that is right for your skin. So anywhere between 0.5 mil and no more than 1 mil is required. Then as you move up to the more delicate area like the eyes and the nose, this is where you would reduce the depth, possibly also slow the speed to reflect the firmness of the skin. Now, when discussing layers of skin, we often see diagrams like this that show everything in perfect straight lines and equal spaces. But in reality, the full depth of your skin, including the dermis layer of your face, varies from about 0.5 to 1.5 mil in different sections of your face. So if you put the settings on your device at 1 mil and completed 3 passes on your forehead and then the jawline, it would feel very different and you'd get a very different response. Your forehead would be likely to be bleeding and the jawline would just be red with a delayed pinpoint bleed. As 1 mil on your forehead will hit your dermis layer directly, and 1 millimeter in your jawline will still be in the epidermis but stimulate the dermis to react to the trauma. And for optimal results with microneedling for firmer skin, it is the stimulation of the dermis, not direct damage, that you need. So with microneedling, you want to recruit the keratinocytes in the epidermis to stimulate the function of the fibroblasts and the stem cells in the dermis, as they will do all the heavy lifting for you. Therefore, you only want a pinpoint bleed at best. This means that while treating the skin, you need to change the depth of your needle in each of the different sections of your face. So here's a guide for the optimal depths on each section of your face. If you have a device that can go up to 1 mil, then yes, use this in the deep settings such as on your jawline. I recommend staying under 1 mil though for home use, as this will retain safety without compromising any results. If you're using a dermapen home, however, the settings are numbered rather than in millimeters. So as a guide, setting 4 is the deepest at 0.5 mil, and this is to be used on the jaw, the chin and the lips. Medium is 3, which is 0.4 mil, ideal for the cheeks and then round the sides and up to the forehead. Then low is 2 on the settings, that's 0.3, come down the nose on that. And 1 is shallow, 0.2 millimeters, great for the eyelids and close in the eyes. The next setting you can adjust is the oscillating speed. The faster speed works best on tougher areas like the jawline, while the slower speed suits the more delicate spots like around the eye. So my tip, if you are new to microneedling and unsure, start with the lowest depth and the slowest speed, then gradually increase as you gain confidence. But the general rule is the deeper you go, the faster you want the speed. Now, this isn't for everyone or every type of skin, so it's ideal to use your skin age as a guide, or the tightness of your skin as a guide to how fast the oscillating speed should be. So the firmer the skin, the faster you can go. So this type of skin would benefit from the fastest oscillating speed. However, if you've lost some tone and laxity and your skin age is say 60, then I would encourage you to treat your skin at a medium speed until your skin starts to firm up. Then when working around the areas, as an example, this skin can lack tone regardless of your skin age or have reduced its laxity. Hence, I would reduce the oscillating speed to a more moderate to slow if you have quite puffy eyes. Another time I would reduce the speed is if your primary outcome is to achieve a firmer skin, but you're managing sensitivity or reactive skin on your cheeks. then again I would reduce to a medium speed as you work up through the face. I have recently done a video that demonstrates my whole routine, so you can take a look at that if you want to see me changing the settings as I work around my face, so you can see this in action. But for more detailed protocols to help you, I have created a microneedling at home handbook. And if you have too many variables and you're a bit worried about what I'm saying here to do for the best, and it's stopping you from microneedling at home, then please reach out. Okay, you can book a one-to-one video session with me so I can see your skin and I can give you my advice on how best to treat your skin safely at home. And in the next video, I'll be talking more about how often to treat your skin. And again, this is based on your skin health age. If you want to learn more about that, keep an eye out for that video. But in summary, by following these settings carefully when microneedling at home, you can achieve firmer, rejuvenated skin, all in the comfort of your own home. But remember, consistency is the key. Please comment below with any questions. I love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me today and happy microneedling.